Every Overwatch hero explained by Micheal Chu, the actual man who invented the story of Overwatch. Could this be an early Christmas present? Well, no, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. This was a video that was on Wired. And hello, welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa. There was a video on Wired on their YouTube channel, and it was with Micheal Chu, who is like the lead lawman, the man who invented the story of Overwatch. He is the king of story when it comes to Overwatch. And he was going to explain to us all of the heroes and give us the backstory. At least that's what we thought when we started watching this video. Well, I can save you actually watching that video because it doesn't really tell us anything. In fact, he basically just reads off the character bio, so it's a bit weird. It's almost as if it's designed for people who have no idea what Overwatch is, to just sort of give them like a little bit of backstory with the heroes, which they could have just read off Blizzard's website. There's maybe 2 little bits of info he gives us, which I don't think were particularly public knowledge, or at least things that I can't really remember hearing before. The first one was D.Va. She's got an F1 co-pilot, or there is somebody who is an F1 driver who also drives mechas as well, because the whole thing with the South Korean mecha force is in the sea there is like a massive Omnic which comes out every now and again, and all of D.Va's crew get together and go and fight off the massive Omnic, and he goes back to the sea. That's basically what goes on there, but that's all we really know. Like, yeah, Reaper as well, he kind of hints that Reaper, his genetic enhancements, is sort of the fact that he's Reaper isn't a result of what she's done to him, but might be a result of the Soldier Enhancement Program, which he was possibly part of, which we know Morrison was, which obviously he turned into Soldier 76, but he was a success story. That's basically it. And Roadhog's got a farm, but we knew that anyway because it's in the Junkertown map. Yeah. What really gets me though about Overwatch is I really wish it had more lore. Like, I wish there was more story. And like, I know they give us animated shorts, which are really cool, and they give us little tidbits of information, and they look fantastic. They're only short, but you know, these things take absolutely months to make because the quality of them is, quite frankly, ridiculously insane. But then we get comics. Comics got a bit of information in, and that's kind of it. Like, we don't really get, like, I mean, I've got a list here, right? So I'm going to read through my list. Like, Hanzo. What do we really know about Hanzo apart from the Dragon cinematic? Not really anything. What about McCree? He's the same, right? He had a comic. In fact, he was the first comic. We know he was in Blackwatch because of the Uprising event, but we don't really know anything. You know, it's like Mercy. What about Mercy? You know, Orisa, Farah. Well, we know little bits about Farah, right? Farah is sort of like, she's got a Canadian father. Anna's a mother. Farah is part of Helix Security. She always wanted to be part of Overwatch. But Blizzard, I wish you'd just give us more lore. I wish you'd give us something to flesh out the game a little bit. Like, because sometimes it feels like we have to, like, it's not really presented to us, is it? You know, it's not like, wow, here's the story and this is what's going on. It's just sort of like, oh, there was this obscure thing happened in a random comic or in this random place, or we're here watching a video on Wired, hoping to get some information on Zen, because we don't know anything about Zen. All we know is he's a robotic Gandhi. That's basically it. Zen, please. Please. Pass into the iris or something. Oh, we've got the finish times for Season 7 competitive. I'm sure you're all very glad of that. So this will finish on December the 29th at 0100. Well, no, not 0100. At 0000 UTC. And then Season 8 will start on Sunday, December the 31st, which is beautiful, at 4 PM Pacific time, which is also beautiful. Now, this is what you'll get for rewards. You will get, if you finish in bronze, you'll get 65 competitive points. Silver, you'll get 125. Gold, you'll get 250. Platinum, you'll get 500. Diamond, you'll get 750. Master, you'll get 1200. And 1750 for Grandmaster. I'll say if you finish, whatever your highest rating was is where you'll get the CP from. Did you meet your goals? Now, I ask this every time, don't I, with competitive, as something just fell in front of the camera. I don't know whether you guys can see that. I don't know why I'm looking over there. I'm looking over there at the monitor, like maybe I can see it, but that's like live feed, so I obviously can't see it, whatever. But if you met your goals for competitive, well, it's like the same old thing for me every year. It's like, I say, well, a year. These are not years, are they? They're months. I say what I'm going to do is play on one account, but then I never do that. But why the hell don't I do that? Well, I think it's time to come clean, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think I like playing on one account, because if I put all of my time onto one account, it means I use that account for all of the video footage on my channel, which then means I have to really suffer quite bad in competitive, where people are like, oh my God, you done it. Oh, and I'm like, yeah. But it's not nice having that all of the time. This is a reason why I think a lot of like streamers and stuff have their stream account and then they might play on a different account where they're not as well known, or they're not going to get harassed all of the time. Now, it's obviously not a bad sort of thing to have where people always know who you are, and a lot of the time people are willing to work with you, but sometimes you just want to knuckle down and play the game. You don't want to feel like you're constantly like under scrutiny all the time, so it's like, oh, it gets a little bit frustrating. But that's why I think I play on all these different accounts, because it lets me, if I want to capture footage, I can use, I think I use Crusher 99 quite a lot this season, a little bit of Steak Baker thing, and Spitfire. But then I've got other accounts which I will play because I'm really sort of going try hard, but I'm trying to like not like give away my position. But here's the thing, I think I'm just going to lay down the gauntlet and say, look, I am just going to play on one account in Season 8. Season 8 will be a little bit different than Season 7 because we are going to have the new system in place, which means that after you get into it's Diamond and above, it's just about wins and losses then. It's not about performance-based SR. If you win the game, you'll just get SR. If you lose the game, you'll lose SR. And I presume this will be you know, you'll get 25 for a win and 25 for a loss or something like that. It shouldn't really be different based on what hero you're playing, the SR calculation. Maybe it will be based on what map, you know, like, because I know Jeff has said in the past, like, certain maps you're expected to win, certain maps you're expected to lose. So if you win on those maps, you might not get as much SR as maybe you would do if you win on the map you're expected to lose on, if you get what I'm saying. But they are still taking out the personal performance bias, which if you are, you know, an extremely good player with one hero, you get slightly more points. But we'll have to wait and see how this actually works out. I think a lot of people initially were like, this is going to get rid of all these like one tricks and whatever. I don't think it will, because the reality is they're still good players that play at a high level with that hero. Yes, they're in a team game. Yes, they're playing a hero which forces people to do other stuff and all of that. We've been over this discussion many times, but they're still decent players with that hero. So I don't think they're necessarily going to go anywhere. So don't think like, oh yeah, all the one tricks are going to get banned, or they're going to get like, they're just going to drop down to like silver or something. That's not going to happen. They're still going to probably be where they were, because, well, they still had fairly high win rates. So it's going to be very interesting. So yeah, have you met your goals? Like I said, my goal was to play on one account and maybe get it into top 500. I didn't do that. I have only managed one season to get an account into top 500, and that was season 5, I think it was, and it was a Winston Reinhardt account, but mainly played Winston because that was sort of in the height of dive comp. Honestly, I haven't really played much of the tanks since then. I think I've gravitated more this season to becoming a support player just because of Moira. I really like Moira. Like, if you guys think Moira's OP or whatever, then, you know, you go for that in the comments below. But I just think, like, it's funny how every season I sort of change what I'm playing. Like, I don't just sit down and go, right, I'm just going to play Winston and that's all I'd play. But you know what? I bet you if I did, I probably would be a much higher rated player instead of being spread out. And this is a thing I've noticed as well, which is a bit controversial in a sense, but, and also it's common sense, right? If you play a hero you're good at, you generally, well, get to a higher rank, right? Let's be honest, right? So if you are a one trick of a certain crazy hero, if you're good with that hero, you're probably always going to be higher rated with that hero than you would be with a different hero. And I've noticed that as the season's gone on, as I've just dedicated myself to Moira, I've got a 69% win rate on Moira, which is pretty damn good. My other heroes are sort of lacking behind. Soldier, which I played a lot, is on around about 52-53%, so that's like not that great, but Moira is much better. Anna has got a high win rate for me as well, and so has Zen. So I don't know, like, I feel like if I just sit down and look at myself and go, what kind of player actually am I? And then just try and apply myself as that type of player for an entire season, what will happen? But again, the big problem I've got is I treat Overwatch, I think, in this idealistic way of, this is how Overwatch should be. Like, when you go into a game, you try and flex, you try and build a good team. So sometimes that means maybe somebody picks a Soldier, maybe somebody picks a Winston, maybe somebody picks a Moira or an Anna or a Zen, and then I'm left to, well, play a different hero. Maybe I've got to play a Tracer. I'm all right as Tracer, but I'm not, like, as good as I am with other heroes, so I'm not going to contribute as much. So in cases like that, and it also makes me wonder, sometimes I should just insta-lock in the hero I want and just see what the team do. And if the team let me play the hero, then fair enough. If we lose, then that's my fault, right? If we win, then okay, I've done all right, let's go again. I don't know. It's very complicated, isn't it? But you guys let me know what you think, what your Season 7 goals were, and if you hit them in the comments below. Like I said, didn't really. I just messed around on a lot of different accounts. I played about as much as I did in Season 6, so it wasn't really a rapid increase in playtime or a decrease. It was sort of about the same. I think meta-wise, the season has been Mercy dominated, much like the last season was Mercy dominated, from like a support perspective. Tanks, I think, are not in a bad position. You see a lot of the tanks being used. You see Orisa, Reinhardt, Winston, the off tanks, or the flex tanks if you want to call them. So D.Va, you see a lot of D.Va still. Roadhog, yeah, and Zarya, you know, they seem in really good position. Offensive heroes also seem in a good position with the exception of Doomfist, although he is getting changes actually applied to him, so I think he'll be a little bit better. And I guess, yeah, the rest of the heroes are kind of like niche picks in a way. So your Hanzo is always going to be your Hanzo, your Torb, your Sim, and all of that stuff. So I think meta-wise, it hasn't been too bad, but it is a little bit dominated by Mercy. And I know what you guys think, oh my god, Sty's moaning at Mercy again. I think just the issue with Mercy is she's got an extremely good ultimate, and she's got an extremely good ability where she can res people. So you kind of want her in the game most of the time. Anyway, that's enough of me ranting. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then, well, comment below, like the video, and all of that good stuff. And I will catch you on the next one, guys. And do remember, there is a fantastic Christmas giveaway going on the channel. Do search the recent videos. It is the Winter Wonderland Christmas giveaway with me going, ah, on the thumbnail with a little Orisa dog, which is absolutely awesome. And have a good Christmas as well, guys. Catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.